Guys, before you click off, don't worry about my extremely red and burnt face, because it's 99 degrees outside right now, pretty much. This whole room is being cooled by a box fan. So, please don't worry about this crazy red face, because I've also got a Spirit Halloween inflatable fan blower to cool it down. I kid you not, this is how hot I am. Hey guys, for everything horror, this is ABC Halloween, and today I'm gonna unbox and set up the Home Depot Halloween 2024 Frankenstein servo animatronic. Yeah, cause I have an awesome mom, thank you! All jokes aside, my mom purchased this for me, not knowing. Now, as you may know, I'm not a big fan of this one, especially with the servo eyes opening so big. But I think I saw GM Haunts' one, and it looked okay. It didn't look like it was just popping out, like BD. So, we're gonna see how this one is. But this is gonna be really fun to unbox. But I'm gonna tell you need scissors. Oh, that metal is cold, I love it. Okay, don't do that at home, kids. Even if it's 99 degrees. But you probably should have some screws and bolts or whatever on hand, since I think this uses a new kind of screw, so like a screwdriver or something. That's a whole box of different ends to it. But we're gonna open the box right now. It's just a Home Depot box. It says 7-foot life-size Frankenstein. Also, I had to make a gap because of all my animatronics. So Marsh Monster's got his head up, and he's got Mr. Bald and Odie and Butler under him, and Uncle Charlie here with his hat. You might actually see that, I don't know. Okay, there you go. Alright, we're gonna open the box right now. This thing has servo motors, which is really realistic. Not my favorite choice of a servo prop. I think the Art the Clown thingy will be a lot better. Oh yeah, and like most of those brand new Home Depot props, it has instructions printed on the box too. You might have a chance of being able to save the box, which I usually don't have room for, at least this year. The Brady Butler's tray is good for boxes, because you put your screws in it and your freaking scissors. And as you can see, it's another box. So it's a double box, and this is a pretty small box. Now this is huge, but for a 7-foot prop with like a wide spread eagle pose in his arms, this is nothing bad for the box. But then again, it weighs far too much. It's not a lightweight prop. It says it's 30 pounds on the box, and it feels like 60. Oh, they also use insane packing tape too in the box. In the box. Yo. Okay, hold on. I got the box open. Now let's look straight into it. No, I did not get the box open. I gotta add sneaky snitch music to this video. I'm gonna explode! Okay, alright. Oh, I'm just trying to get this out of the box. Where? That's good! Okay, we good now. Let's now open the flap with me here. We're gonna take a look. Let's go. Okay, this is your first look in the box, so this is an interesting sight. First, snap lock your first set of poles into the base. Next, slide the boots down the poles, and the front slits in the boots will go over the hoops on the base. Attach the next set of poles by snap locking them into place by pushing the pin and sliding it into the groove. Next, slide the long pieces of foam over the poles. This will give the figure its full potential and form. Next, remove the pants from the bag of clothing. Then, slide the pants over the poles, making sure that the white tag faces the back of the figure. Gently pull the foam guards off of the connector. And now you can connect the waist connector onto the two poles. Now you'll have to push this in, or just use a mallet like I did. Now remove the collar pin from the hip hoop. Make sure that the longer part of the hoop is facing the front of the figure. Slide it through the holes, and then attach the collar pin once the poles are through the holes. Just make sure you do not get stabbed by the collar pin when trying to slide it back into place. The collar pin is to make sure that the hip hoop doesn't fly off the figure in extreme conditions. Next, pull up the pants over the hip hoop using the elastic, and making sure that it's over the hoop. Next, take the frame with the control box and mechanism and snap lock that onto the waist. And take off the foam piece at the top skinny pole. Now pay attention because this part is confusing. Now you will take this body frame part and make sure that it is lined up properly so that the sticker on it is facing the back of the figure. Then make sure that the little sticks on the little poles on the corners with the metal screws will be lined up normal. Then unscrew the screws and push the poles through the holes. Then retighten the screws. This will take you a while, and so don't give up, because for me, it took about 15 minutes. Next, you will want to loosen the screw on the neck connection. And then you will take Frankie's head and use the pole on his head and slide it into the hole, making sure that it rests firmly on the bottom with the screw untightened. It's gonna be okay if your screw falls out. It'll just make the setup slightly more hard. Pretty much, you will just loosen your screw a lot, slide the head in, and then tighten it once it's in place. Note, your head of Frankenstein will be pretty wobbly, but that is how it's intentionally built on all of these servo props, thus the heads being able to swivel. This part was beyond confusing for me, but connect the wire from the head to the one on his right arm. Next, you can unvelcro the back of his shirt, and you can slide it around his neck and velcro it. It is pretty confusing since it's an undershirt sewed to an overshirt. But just remember, the velcro goes in the back. Also, if you would like this animatronic, keep an eye out in July in stores and online at the Home Depot, because in late April he was accidentally leaked on the website for order and he was released the next day for Halfway Halloween, and so he is currently not available anymore, but he might in July. But if you see one, especially in a store, and you like him, then you need to jump on him, because he is going to be one of the best sellers of Halloween this year. Next, you can thread through the arm, through the sleeve, and you can connect it into the two-prong connection. Once you got the one arm in, you're going to move on to the next. Alright, so for the most part he's set up. Now we just got to add the hands, which will simply snap lock into place like such. Those should really be the ones with cotter pins, but they aren't. For one thing, I'll definitely make them shorter, but let me know if you want to see more setups by liking this video. Always refer to the instructions with questions, because it's never a good idea to always question a video. And his shirt has Velcro in the sleeves to keep it at the arms. So you kind of just pull it like that, and he is complete now. Your Home Depot Halloween 2024 Frankenstein is complete. He's a cool prop, honestly. Now let's get to his demo for once.
Look out! Tie him up, quickly! Get him downstairs! It's mine! I created this! Do you see? I living being! I created life!
There you have it, the demo for Frankenstein for Home Depot Halloween 2024. Please don't worry about me not having his hands on right now. He just takes up a ton of room. He's an interesting concept with those servo motors. That's definitely unique. He's generally an interesting concept because it's a universal monster. Now, we haven't gotten a classic Halloween monster like this in so long. And so I'm glad that Frankenstein finally has come out. He's interesting. His face is silicone, which if you didn't know, that's what's used for companies like Immortal Masks that charge $600 for their masks. And they're the kind that stick to your face for lifelike movement. And so this is crazy because this is no latex I've ever felt. Yeah, it's rubbery. And so this is definitely silicone. The squinting is good. Half his head is plastic with the silicone attached in front. His hair is really scarce in the back. So I feel like in brighter conditions, his back end would not look good. But he's interesting. He's got these little dangles of gauze on him. I'm not too happy about that. I kind of thought they were daisies from the leaks. Because, you know, it's Frankenstein. He should have some unique characterism, and that's how he is in the movie. But he's cool. He's very cool. His servo movement is cooler in person. Mine's eyes don't squint too much. I saw in a lot of the videos, people's heads were pretty flat, and their eyes just popped out so much on their Frankenstein. And luckily, this doesn't do that too dang much. And so I think we're good there. His shirt is a little baggy in front. It doesn't tighten up, so from above, you have like a camera above, you're going to be seeing that plastic form. But that brings me to his build. His form right here is an actual pain in the cranium to put on. It has two tubes that go into place, and these little knobs have to be articulated. They just have to be gently put in there and screwed on. Now that is absolutely useless and outlandish, to be honest. Also, when you put on this hip hoop, there's a cotter pin. My weakness is cotter pins, but now it's these screw connections they're using now. But he's interesting. But now that brings me to my main drawback on this animatronic. That being his audio. So, it's interesting. So, this part's kind of detailed and kind of interesting because we just found out what the deal was about this. But he does not say the "it's alive" phrase, which ruins his audio. Honestly, it does not make sense. But we have a reason for this now. So, someone under the name of Paprius Midnight on their channel did a demo video of Frankenstein. Now, credit to them, because I'm using that audio, and I'm gonna audio rip this one for that in the demo of this, since it's much clearer. But you know, there was someone who commented on that named Balance Man and claimed that they made the audio for this prop. Now, this kind of sounds like that Bad Wolf person, that was their username, for Morris and SVI, how they, would leak stuff because they manufactured. So someone under the name of Balance Man apparently helped make the audio for Frankenstein here. He went into detail about how the phrase "it's alive" is heavily copyrighted. And this makes sense since I think in 2021, Home Depot did a Frankenstein type thing. He said "I'm alive" and it wasn't licensed. And so "it's alive" is heavily copyrighted, it seems, and they couldn't end up using that because the name is so heavily copyrighted, which makes sense for such a big license that's been around for a century pretty much. It's interesting that they couldn't use it, and so they decided to do a screaming track of people screaming while Frankenstein is moaning, and it uses a stock sound effect called the Wilhelm scream. You've heard it before. And if you are sure that you've not heard this sound effect before, you've heard it at least once in your whole life. Because here's this video, I don't remember who it was, but this guy makes comparison of music and such. He made a video about the different movies that utilize the Wilhelms. As you can see, the Wilhelm scream is part of the vault. This is right up here with the Kevin MacLeod music for the YouTube audio library, because this audio has been heard so much. So it's weird that Frankie uses this audio. Kind of sounds like the Mad Scientist, I guess, so that's why they used it. But that was just pure laziness, honestly. And he seems pretty proud that he used that sound, and I must say that's really a drawback, because It's Alive was the main thing. But for the price, he's cool. It's just that It's Alive, especially since in that teaser, you could hear the It's Alive while he was going off, in that teaser. And so, I don't know what the deal with that was. Maybe that's a prototype that just was used for publicity with the phrase. I don't know. He's definitely a cool animatronic, as you can see. His hands are well detailed and everything. I just love this prop. The face is the best part of the prop. And, yeah. This thing one of these should have came out for Spirit in 2022 for their Laboratory of Laboratories. That's a classic joke on my channel. But the silicone is great. Best part of the prop is the head, for sure. And by the way, I'm like 5'5", and this thing is giant. I mean, this thing is a monster. He's the same size as Marsh Monster, pretty much. And so he's definitely cool. And for everything horror, this is ABC Halloween.